What is up, everyone? My name is BoIt, and I'm here to bring you Game of the Week number 5 for the AoM Resurrection tournament. It's been a blast. I've just casted 4 games in a row. My head is spinning, but I'm going to do one more just because I'm that committed. Without further ado, let's introduce the players spawning in the bottom of the map. Playing Poseidon. His name is AOL Iron Maiden, and someone just lost. Just kidding, this is on the observer map. In the top of the screen, playing as the red Poseidon, his name is Polo Blue. He's also known as Grumpy. Here's a little bit of background story about these two players. They are brothers. Oh, who knew that? They're both... well, we got one player who probably needs no introduction. Iron Maiden. Know him from the forums. He hosted the tournament. He's copping a lot of flack at the moment from the way he's managing the tournament, but he's been Nazi, man. He's been Nazi, and we love him for it. His brother. He's been playing some really a remarkable AoM lately. He beat Berserker in the first round of the tournament, 2-0, I believe. It was really, actually no, 2-1. It was a really good Greek Wars. It surprised me that he won. So hopefully he can display that sort of knowledge and ability in this game. We'll see what results as a sort of like thing. So basically, in a Poseidon vs Poseidon mirror, what you want to do. If your opponent has an exposed gold mine, it doesn't even matter. They have ceasefire. They'll be able to survive through the pestilence. So you can't exactly do a pestilence rush. Your really only option is to go too stable, too archery range through Hermes and try and out micro. It's all about the micro. If you both have the same sort of macro, it's all about the micro. Obviously, if you can out macro, then go for it. But like, it's not possible in the high level play. So you have to have stellar micro to win this game. If not, it's about economic management, hitting your timings, getting to the heroic age when you need to in order to gold starve. Using god powers and such. My favorite gold starve would have to be curse at the 10-minute 30-ish mark when gold mines extinguish, but it's 2 gold mine ghost lakes, so that's not going to happen either. So we can expect to see, I would love to expect to see a relatively long game, at least reaching the mid heroic age where a fight for a town center or something like that will be the result of this game. AOL Iron Men going through Hermes, same with Grumpy. We see the 2 stables going up for Maiden, a 3rd stable actually, so he's going 3 stables. It's not a bad idea to go 3 stables, especially with low hunt, because you can just use all that wood on farms instead, but you don't have that bolstering power behind your Hippocons to just deal a little bit more damage. But again, both players are actually going for pure stables, so it's gonna come down to the really mini micro and the high level micro of the pulling back Hippocon, which you're getting attacked and all that other stuff. Grumpy decides to go straight for the medium Hippocon just to get the jump on his opponent on Maiden, so that's not going to be a bad thing. But he does have the units in order to deal with this raid. However, Maiden does pick off 1 unit, doesn't lose any of his Hippocon. Might lose the Theseus though if he's not careful, but he has enough units now to at least threaten Grumpy back. He does have, I think his economy is a little bit poor at the moment, sitting on 800 gold 8 minutes into the game. Isn't exactly ideal, but we can't blame players for doing that in the heat of a game, especially because you're playing your brother and you don't want to lose. You're focusing so much on all the small minor details, you miss the large ones. Regardless, Maiden looks like he's stopped, but no, he hasn't stopped. He's just not getting that gold income which he really needs. I mean, wood food income which he really needs. He might want to consider throwing 2 or 3 or maybe 5 villages over onto wood in order to start farming. His opponent Grumpy has much better economy management, but his supply is pretty much exactly the same. A little bit of raid going on here, picking off the villages. I don't believe he got, actually he got one. I think he got one villager in that exchange there. And he's retreating out, trying to save some of those Hippocon, which he does manage to do, it looks like. There's a couple of low ones though, so when they get into a bigger fight, they'll be the first to go. Well, hopefully. Grumpy now running in through the little gap that Maiden's left. Maiden just retreating out of it. Not really thinking about the engagement there. He could have split up his army and sort of closed him in. Maiden is going through Aphrodite though, whereas Grumpy hasn't even thought about the heroic age yet. Needs another 200 food first, but he's really harassed enough there. He didn't really kill off any villagers, but he just made them stop mining for that amount of time to catch up on the economy. So that's a good thing for him. Now we're going to see Maiden thinking about grabbing a town center as soon as possible. Does he have the resources? He doesn't quite have the resources yet. He needs to grab that town center as soon as he feels comfortable. Multi-pronged attack here. He's got the entire army of Maiden distracted over here where this tower falls. So he's traded a couple of units for a tower there, and then he's just going to run out. So that's a good play by Grumpy, but not really achieving all too much. Now Grumpy hitting the heroic age through Aphrodite. It's a good choice by him. Going to be able to counter his opponent's curse with his own curse. Extremely just mirror matchup, so they're just playing for skill. Who's got the most skill? This map's extremely balanced. Gold mines everywhere. Everyone can choose from a gold mine. However, there's these 3 gold mines, which if Maiden can correctly push off, he'll probably win the game. However, ceasefire can go down any second now just to grab this location here if he needs to. And there's a curse going down, another curse going down, but a bunch of villagers got cursed, so Grumpy definitely has no, never mind, I'll take back everything that I just said. Grumpy has no advantage then. Maiden gets all of the pigs, and he can send them home back to his... Actually, no. Okay, we're fighting for pigs. That's the funniest thing ever. It's like, my pigs, no my pigs. Whatever, you run away, I feel safe now. So we're trading... I just can't help but laugh. They're just like fighting over pigs like children. Because they're like... They're brothers. They're fighting over the pigs. Never mind. I'm not funny. Maiden now securing his second gold mine. He's going to want to grab this town center before Grumpy decides that that's what he needs. Maiden running over here, probably going to try and shut down any settlement expansion over here, or at least maybe a little bit of a raid. Let's hit this location, and do the same thing that Grumpy was doing to him earlier in the game. Maiden going to be retreating out now, throwing down barracks. Okay, if you feel like it's necessary, he's going to transition into infantry and try and hit some sort of attack like that. But he really needs to think about this town center at some point, maybe soon, rather than later. But never mind. Okay, now the full army is Prodromus right now. So this is where Toxotes come in handy. Because they're Prodromus, they have 10% pierce armor, they don't do a lot of damage. So the Toxotes actually do really well against them. Basically, Toxotes counter Prodromus, which is kind of counterintuitive because they're cavalry, and you know the paper scissors rock thing, how it's cavalry counter archers counter infantry. It's kind of a bit wacky like that. But yeah, if you focus your Toxotes onto a non-moving Prodromus, they should counter it. They'll kill it. Interesting decision to let the fortress stay with 17 HP. However, that actually means that militia spawn and ceasefire decides to go off for Maiden. Time to maybe grab that town center, which he is doing. Grumpy probably doesn't have the resources just yet for that town center. He's gonna soon though. He also doesn't have the heroic upgrades yet, which you might want to consider getting at some point. But no, not quite yet. Grab your town center, Grumpy. Grab it. Trying to hypnosis, you know. But here it looks like the advantage of this fight goes to Grumpy because he just has that many more myth units, and those are going to deal all the damage. He also has his heroes, and those are also going to tank the damage because they got that many more hit points and that much more pierce and hack armor and all that other good jazz. So yeah, cool. This looks like, I don't think Maiden can really hold this gold mine. He's going to have to retreat off it. He doesn't have another gold mine to do to, but he can sneak that one. Actually, no, he's got this gold mine, so that's fine. Maiden sitting on 103 of 145. Has a bunch of resources, but isn't spending them. He really needs to learn how to mass produce units. He's not producing out of the military academies as well as he should. And he also, I don't know, I think possibly cavalry hoplite army would probably be really strong here. If you just send the infantry in front and then flank from the back with your hippicon, it could be really, really powerful. But obviously he's going for a 1-1-1 sort of thing with one of each sort of type of unit. Grumpy now spotting that this is the gold mine which he's mining from, and Maiden has 2,700 food. You might want to consider building a market and jumping straight to the mythic age, maybe through Artemis and then earthquaking like this location or this location in order to win the game. But no. There's no market in sight for Maiden, even though he does have the 600 wood in order to do so. I guess he's just focusing too much on the fight. But Grumpy heard me. Grumpy went to the mythic age to Artemis. Now all Grumpy needs to do is earthquake. He doesn't have, he does have the same population, but this earthquake means that a bunch of militia will spawn. Well, it's actually not as much as I thought. 7 militia will spawn, and the town center didn't actually go down. Maiden didn't even have masons. That's how poor that was. However, Maiden will have to rebuild a bunch of his buildings. He'll have to go and grab a bunch of those houses, and then please tell me that's a market. Good. Please tell me you're going to sell some of that food for some gold and then go mythic age. Good. Come on, you can do it. You don't need all that food. Okay, never mind. He's not going to do that. I take it back. He's not going to do it. He just wants to stay in the heroic age. Okay, so now Grumpy has the advantage here. He's got champion everything. He's even got his upgrades rolling in as opposed to what Maiden has, which is pretty much nothing. Maiden's going to do a little bit of a sneaky raid here, try and pick off a couple of villages. Grumpy spots that immediately and retreats over into his fortress, and just fends that off with relative ease, even picking off a couple of the hippicon in the meantime. And now Grumpy's going to be able to push in when he starts getting some of those siege units pumping out. The champion Prodromus coming in here, noticing they can't really do anything with Crenellation's watchtower, picking off what he can. Probably going to try and pick off even the market over here, or a couple of the donkey caravans. It's going to be interesting to see how Maiden manages to use Artemis. He has a lot of resources, so it's definitely the right choice. Going Hephaestus, or however you pronounce it, would probably be the wrong choice, just because it wouldn't benefit him at all. He's going to push in now, kill off all of these units, and then try and take down this location, followed by an earthquake here. That's how I see it. But he is going to lose his market though. But he still does have this market here, so if he can wall off here, then he should be fine. But Maiden's just he's not using his resources. He's sitting at 130 supply when he should be at 160. His opponent is at 160 at the moment, obviously, and he's just continually pushing in. So it's just a macro Apollo Blue, which is really doing wonders here in this game. A macro being his ability to spend money, not his ability to accumulate money. Now Maiden's going to be a little bit behind on the gold because he doesn't have gold mine. Well, he does.